mostly the focus right now is the gifts or the upcoming giving events and our travel and kind of buttoning up things right of that nature. So
Yeah,
and are you recording or no?
I have started the recording,
Okay.
and that should be working now correctly via the
Okay.
live stream to YouTube, as we typically do. Last week I had gotten logged out of the plugin and couldn't do it. So I'm glad that everyone's here and it'll all be captured there. I'm still uploading the last video. Our notes are behind. We have power though in our home, and that's always a good thing for us to be able to work. So
And we're
we're
sitting at
grateful
a
for
lot cooler temperature.
that. we're not
So
we're not too
that's
hot. We're just right. So we're
yes.
doing good. Very productive lately.
We're on the rebound.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with Salam, the budget and everything that you had submitted. We go ahead and we'll start talking about that project and then go from there.
Salam, do you want me to share the? Could I do a real quick display of the changes that we've made to the projects for everyone?
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, okay, great. So let me share my entire screen, and then I will go to here is what I wanted to show. Can everyone see that okay? I can't tell, but it's okay. I'm assuming you can. Okay, so I just want to take an example of Salam's project and show you the work that I've done on the IT side. So we've rebuilt and built in an entire budgeting system into projects. So this is project 79 that Salam is obviously working on. This all looks the same with regards to connections at the top. Then you see the required fields for the company being up front, the project name, if it was generated from a template, the location, who created it, if it's internal sourced or grant funding, etc., the type of project, the priority, status, expected start, expected end, completed, etc. Then this is the project description. So we have a nice box here. This is really important, and it says it down here because it feeds into our internal audits, external audits, as well as all of our social media and newsletters. This is essentially where Ben grabs this for our blog post, but auditors look at this as far as what it was we were trying to do and the dollars that were allocated. Then this gets in, and that's all been the same, no change there. Then if we look down here, and please stop me, I can't see the interface, the screen right now. I'm just because I have this so big. So please just interrupt me with verbally if you have questions or comments as we go through it. I won't take too long. But basically, is what we have is we have this new section that shows the exchange rate that's going to be applied, and so source is from ERPNext itself. ERPNext has a currency service, so the last time that it was updated, the currency was 0.09 US dollars to one CD. So that may need to be adjusted, and if it does, please let me know what you want that adjusted to. Otherwise, just base all of your calculations below on this exchange rate. So then we have the item. The item is, for example, I'm sorry, I'm not going to click. I'm just going to hover over it, I think. But you'll see this come up. So this is a medical expense for a medical event. This is the description that Salam typed in. This is the quantity, the estimated rate. And if you notice, this is hard because of the way it is here, but this is noted now in the company's currency. So this is in CD. So Salam is going to record his expenses, Warihana, everybody, Ben, everybody who's working with a specific company, it'll record the estimated rate in their currency. So if it's a US project, it'll be in US dollars, CD if it's a Ghanaian project. And so then that will calculate the amount based on the quantity, and the exchange rate is here, and then the US dollar just for reference so that everybody can see what the budget is. These are, for example, papers for printing, everything is listed here. So this is how much is budgeted for the project in US dollars as well as in CD so everybody can be really clear. You have the ability to add a row. When you do, you basically just get a new row into this table and it calculates the total budget in CD or GHS. And then it also does the total budget in US dollars. And so there's a checkbox here that just says, I've created this budget if it's necessary, and that's important because maybe not so much in grant projects, but maybe even in grant projects, we need a budget for estimated travel expenses. Let's say Warihana has to attend some travel event in Accra to do a presentation or record a video explanation of the project, the Northern Health Shield, whatever it might be, there may be costs involved there. So they should all be categorized, and you should always check. This is the only place that we're doing budgets, and it's directly in the project. You can see this up here at the top. So project, this is project 79 specifically. So then we have a new section for executive approval. So we have the president or myself who are quote unquote in the executive worker category, and we can set those to it has a status of pending approval, rejected, or revised. And so depending on if it's approved, then the budget essentially goes read only. So if I change this to approved, you can see that the budget can no longer be edited, and then the president or myself would go ahead and sign in here. So then the last thing that's here that's important. So this is also filling out the estimated costs in Ghana CD for the project. Uh, and then here you can see the map details. So this is an important section because when we add a row here, we set the longitude and the latitude by editing this block. And Ben has been doing this, and maybe we need to clean this up, but essentially setting the longitude and latitude of where the project is going to take place. And once that's done, then essentially we'll be able to put the pin. This is how the pin ends up on the map for the giving event. So not wanting to save anything, I just wanted to share the new way that the project looks and the budget, and then know that we'll be taking purchase invoices, which are accumulated down here, sales invoices, and purchase invoices, which are accumulated down here, and doing comparisons then with the budgeted amounts. And so once a budget is created and approved, it can then move to revised so that Salam, for example, could add a line item, and then it can be approved again by an executive person. And then all of these approvals get written down here in the activity ledger, so we know exactly. And we have an audit trail of exactly how the project has been executed. So hopefully this will help Ben. This will help the president. It will help Salam. It will help Warihana. Everyone be able to work through their projects and have access to a budget without creating a purchase invoice. Because in the past we were creating purchase invoices. Those are no longer the way that we do things. Purchase invoices are created by the project owner when they actually have an invoice or a receipt to actually go ahead and get reimbursed for. So the budget does the allocation. The purchase invoice is how essentially bills get paid. Sales invoices are how money comes into the project. So I'm gonna switch back to everyone over here. Continue. Oh, good. So I'm getting some feedback. So uh, does everybody under? I didn't see any of that feedback. It wasn't on my screen. So is anybody have any questions, comments, or feedback on that? Ben, do you understand all of that? Does it all look okay to you?
Yes, I think all looks good to
Okay,
me. Yeah.
great, great. It was a good effort. It took, I don't know, more than 25 hours probably, but I got it knocked out and I think it's clean. I hope you feel the same, Ben.
Yeah, sure. After I'm testing with the project yesterday and I'm converting the purchase invoice we initially had
Hmm.
into the into this budget, I feel like it contains every section that we actually need,
Hmm.
especially we being able to have it in cities since it's
Hmm.
give basic needs. It's operated here in the city. We have city as the currency.
Yeah.
Then it gives us the total amount in USD, so that when we are creating the sales invoice for the foundation, we can have that value to work with as well. So I think it's great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was my intent. And the reason that I wanted to, I worked with Ben on the design a lot, at least talking through it with him to see if this is how we wanted to do it and if we wanted to make it part of the project, etc. And his efforts in thinking it through with me and building it out the way that I did, that was clearly my intent, was to make sure that we didn't have currency confusions. Um, Please make sure as you go through it that everything looks right as far as conversion amounts. If you want that changed to 0.11 US dollars to one CD, we can make that happen. I'm thinking about making an automated a way of updating the currency amount. And if I do that, we'll need to come up with the terms in doing that. I'll work with Ben as the treasurer on our company agreement to make sure that we're doing that right. But that was just the last time that the CD was updated was 0.09. So just adjust your expectations, and if it's one or two difference, then just make the change in your head for right now until we can get that updated. But that I'm taking the action item to go ahead and updating the currency to some new strategy with Ben being the treasurer for Give Basic Needs Ghana in the future. Great. Thanks for that feedback, Ben. And Luke, do you understand it all? And does it make sense to you? Great. Warihana, do you have any questions about how it impacts your grants and things like that? Or hopefully it simplifies your stuff as far as getting even grant approvals requested for you to proceed, etc.
Yes. So, yes, it does. Already for the grants, usually I create them as projects. That's what I've been doing
I'm sorry, say
because
say again, you usually what?
I'm saying that already the grants, I've been creating them as projects with
Yes.
the tax template that we created.
Great. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that that's good. And so as you create those projects, once the president kind of gives the verbal, then the next step is to create the grant project, and you'll go through and fill out the budget if there is anything, and then the
Okay.
president will formally sign that. The one thing I didn't share that I want to share really quick again, I apologize for having to do this again, but let me show you something that I worked pretty diligent on, and I think will have a nice impact. Is that um, whenever we go into a project now, if we ever want to see the status of a project or we want to share the status of a project, I was thinking of you, Warahana, when I created this as well. Was that for grant statuses and grant reports? Hopefully, this can be a part of that reporting to make your life easier. But if you go to print, there is a new print format called Squeaky Clean, and that's the default. And so Squeaky Clean basically shows all of the project details. So the company, the project type, all of these, who created it, funding, start date, end date, et cetera. All of the budget, of the description of the objectives, which we said how critical that was, the budget items, and then it has the total cost estimates, and you can see the signatures, right? So that this has essentially been approved by me. That's not the case because um, I haven't submitted it yet. But you can see that this is essentially uh, one complete document with a disclaimer as far as how the organizations operate, and the fact that Give Basic Needs is a licensed agent of the Calusi Family Foundation, and that's all great. And so hopefully this can serve as a one-page summary of the budgeted items. But then in the future, when I build out the actual report of actual costs, I expect that to be below the budget and at that that will give a complete summary of what was done in the description, what was budgeted, what was actually allocated, as well as what items were billed. And in doing so, that with the signature from an executive, that kind of gives it a signed, sealed, and delivered look and feel in one printout. And then we have this really nice ability to set letterheads on all of our printouts now. So I've completed that task of letterheads. So if we choose the Calusi Family Foundation, we get this nice letterhead above it. So that again makes it more formal. We have the ability, obviously, to change this to give basic needs. And then finally, which I think is really nice and will work good for purchase invoices in which and show collaboration, is the foundation and give basic needs. So both of us on the letterhead showing that this is a cooperative effort from the start to finish, essentially. The Calusi Family Foundation and Give Basic Needs Ghana.
Excellent. It's pretty.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thanks. I did work hard on the presentation here because I did want it to serve as something for Warihana and then to be able to use with auditors, etc. We do have the ability to show a letterhead here from Health Hub One and Ghana Give Basic Needs in Ghana. So this is what that header looks like. Again, if there was a project that was going on between those two organizations, that would be the letterhead that they could use, etc. So it's just a kind of an easy way to see what's going on. You can see the descriptions are formatted nicer. It's easier to read, just easier on the eyes. Yeah, and so great, Warhana, you like that? I just saw that, so that's great. Uh, Getting back to you, Warhana, really quick, do you think that this type of summary with the actual numbers in it is something that you'll be able to use as well in your grant writing for grant reporting statuses?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So assuming we're given a grant and then we record every expense,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, just export it, print it, and then it's good to go like that. So yeah, I really like this formatting.
Okay, great. If there's anything that you'd like to revise, please
Mm.
let me know. I won't say it's easy. Formatting of documents can be tricky, but I'm happy to do it. And I understand the benefit and the time savings for a person like you or Ben who has to interact with third party auditors. Ben, please, if you see things that you'd like to see on there, let me know. One question for Warahana as I think about putting the actuals on there. Do you want to see actual, like a summary of sales invoices and purchase invoices, meaning what came in, what went out, or is it a graph or an image of that information sufficient,
Uh,
or both? Maybe you want to see both. Maybe you want to see money that came into the project, so all the sales
mhm.
invoices, money that went out of
Right,
the project, because then you have all the date timestamps for all those purchase invoices, all of those things.
right. Yeah, so both would actually be great.
Okay, so a chart that just shows where we are based on the budget, but then also each individual sales invoice, a section for sales invoices, such section for purchase invoices with the
Mhm.
specific purchase invoice numbers for reference and the date, times, and the amounts.
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So I'll take the action item to revise that in probably after holiday, honestly, unless that's something that you need. But probably after I come and see you, or maybe while I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay, great, great. And then you agree that that'll be beneficial.
Mm.
Great, great, great. And so, Elaina, how do you feel about this new budgeting and way that we're doing projects? Do you have any feedback or thoughts?
No, I think it sounds great.
Great. And then, Salam, how about you? Where are you at with everything that you've had to go in and make some changes to it, just from a software standpoint and the design and customization work that I did? Do you see things that you'd like changed or modified up until this point, and how do you feel about the reporting?
No, it's all good for me. It looks pretty much simple, just like we used to do with the purchase invoices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the things that when I worked with Ben, we decided was that uh, the the traditional way to do budgets within ERPNext is by using accounts, which would mean, Salam, that you would have to know accounts that you were going to bill towards. So that's when we ruled that whole module out of ERPNext, and I decided to roll my own and build my own because you need to be able to choose items just like you did off the purchase invoice. Now you choose it's a medical item, it's a travel item, it's a wage item, it's a whatever, and then that will tie to the ultimate account when it's submitted. So we tried to make it as close to the purchase invoice interface as we could in that regards. Great. Great. Okay. Thanks for that feedback. And President, do you have any thoughts on it or?
No, I've been by your side checking it.
Yeah. The President is my official design consultant slash tester. She goes through and we've been working on it together. I do all the programming. She does all the testing, final testing. And so that's
Yes.
been good that you've been engaged on that. So I will turn it back over to the President and we can review the projects at hand, which I think are coming up quickly.
Yes.
And everyone has a bit of uh, bounce in their step in hopes that we can get all this done.
We got this. All right, Salam. So for project 79, that's the budget we want to go over, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, perfect. It all looks good. I appreciate you breaking down the cost of the medications for malaria and the typhoid. So the typhoid, I have a question. It says Ciprolex-TZ, and I know that isn't the U.S. or the traditional ciprofloxacin that we're not using for malaria. So can you tell me, like, or for typhoid, is there what difference with that Ciprolex-TZ versus ciprofloxacin? Do you know?
So it's the same as ciprofloxacin,
Okay.
500 mg, and tinidazole, 600 mg.
Okay.
And
Yes. So
one thing, Salam, I want you
Okay.
to know, as I was telling the President this morning, I said we often forget that Salam is not a medical professional. He is an executor of amazing projects. And so when we ask you these questions, please feel free to say, I don't know. Because that would be 100% valid response because again, this is something that you've taken on and we appreciate all of the effort to gather this knowledge and this information about these medications, etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
So it's different than because I think on our paper we said we weren't
So
going. Go ahead, please.
yes, so the Ciprolex-TZ
Mm-hmm.
is what is written boldly on the medication.
Okay.
Then beneath it, so I think the Ciprolex is kind of like the brand name.
mm,
Beneath it is ciprofloxacin, which
Okay.
is five. Let me share it on Discord right now,
Okay.
so you can have a look. So I think it's the same medication you are talking about, but just that the name.
yeah.
Maybe
And
if I had used it.
I think that that's
Okay.
definitely confusing. I mean, medication names are just flat out confusing to me as a non-medical professional. Abbie, as a medical professional, understands this way better than I do, but it is confusing. And when we talk about generics, sometimes there is no difference, and sometimes there is. So, in any case,
Yes, I just kept that on the general channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it does have Okay. So this is kind of like for like urinary infections as well. and other types of like bacterial infections, correct? With the Tanzanidol or Tazan.
He doesn't know, honey.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the right answer, Salam, because when you get down to it, only she knows this stuff at this point. And none of the rest of us in the group are like, it's like me talking about, technology.
Computers.
Sometimes we all just kind of roll our eyes back and wonder what they're saying.
Yeah.
So
I get no. Just my main concern is that I wanted to make sure there was a clear difference because I didn't want to contradict our paper. So in our paper for writing that we're not using
Right.
Cipro, and that's the standard that we're doing, then I want to make sure that we're actually practicing that.
Right. I think it's critical. So the Northern Health Shield documentation that was put together is what I'm wondering about doing. I'm wondering if, I want to get feedback from everybody here. And I know, Salam, we're kind of in the 11th hour. You're trying to procure things, get funding, on and on and on. I can't imagine. But
yeah, and the budget absolutely looks great. Everything else I don't have a problem with. Everything. The dewormers.
The dewormers, can we maybe break those down into individuals so that we have, because I saw that you have a range of prices on those. Is it like, I feel like a medical professional, which I am not, which Abbie is, but maybe like Zwara or someone else should be commenting on which of these specific medications we should do, or we should be using Notebook LM, who has the paper of the research that I did and knows that the problem with medications is you have one that.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
What problem do you have with the dewormer thing?
I just would like to see is what I'm trying from the financial side, right? I've got my finance hat on.
Okay.
And when I look at this budget, I don't want to see a blanket 1,000 unit $1 line item. I want to see that you're going to buy a 5-cent dewormer for adults and you're going to buy 500 doses.
But we don't know how many adults and how many.
Right, but it doesn't matter because we have to buy something before the event. So this is going to go back to inventory. So if we buy 5, let's just say we're deworming. We've already decided, correct me if I'm wrong, Salam, Ben, Warihana, anyone else, is that we already decided we're going to do the blanket deworming because that is very effective and that's something that we can do. We know we can do that. We know we can get the medication. We know we can execute that. It's not like the typhoid conjugate vaccine, which is extremely expensive, nor is it, in which case we wouldn't be able to inoculate many. It's something that we know we can do with the dewormer. My thing is that if you tell me from a finance standpoint, I would just like to see that I'm going to buy 500 doses, or I'm going to buy 1,000 doses of dewormer. And if children show up and they're counted in the 1,000, then I'll take the 200 back to the office and store it as inventory or give it out to the additional adults. Like I just want to see it broken down instead of it being a generic line item. I don't know what else to say on that. That's my only.
Okay.
That I have that question, and then I would like to take this entire project, and I know, Salam, you can roll your eyes, you can send up that emoji or whatever if there is one. I would totally understand if you did that. But I would like to take the hold on one second.
What do you want to get to?
You have to go. This is no longer valid. No more. So no more purchase invoices, just projects for budgets.
Okay, so here's project 79.
Right. So now scroll down, and now you'll see his latest budget. And if you can't read it this way, you'll go into print. Do the print.
Okay.
And now you'll be able to see this is his latest budget.
Okay.
And with the latest descriptions, because essentially that purchase invoice is dead. It may be the exact same. I don't know. Okay, but I just wanted to share. So as Salam is, and as what I'd like to do is what I'd like to get everybody's opinion on is I'd like to take this exact proposal, this project description with all of the costs, all of the description, and send it through Notebook LM, because our AI may not be able to answer it properly. Hopefully it could, but send it through Notebook LM. Let's just say that for right now, and see how it affects how in line it is with the Northern Health Shield identified best practices for treating individuals who are ill. Now it's going to come up and say you should be giving the typhoid vaccine. And I know, Salam, that you said that's extremely expensive and I can't get it. I understand that's a supply chain issue, but is what it should tell us is that if you can't do the typhoid, do the dewormer. It should say that. And then when it says to do the dewormer, it should say buy this one. And this one is 5 cents, or this one is 10 cents, or like somebody needs to make that medication decision. As much as I understand exactly where you were coming from by saying I'm going to buy a variety of them, we could be wasting money on buying. It happens in the US all the time. There's a brand name Motrin that's $3, and then there's an ibuprofen sitting on the exact same shelf. It's literally the exact same medication, and it costs $1. So I'd like, I know it's late in the game, I get it. I just would like Notebook LM to see where we are with alignment with the things that we've identified and how we're going to run the health hubs. Because again, we need to show people that, look, we would be treating typhoid with Cipro, but the research shows this strain that you have in Ghana is resistant to it. It's literally making a superbug. It's making the virus stronger. I don't know what to. I don't say we shouldn't purchase Cipro either, as long as we use it for maybe bladder infections or whatever else you use it for. This is where I get outside of my domain. I would just like a medical, all of the research that we've put into Notebook LM to just evaluate the entire project and just say, if you can't do A, do B. If you can't do B, do C. If you can't do C, do D, until all your money, your $12,000 is gone. I don't know what you think about that, Salam. And I haven't even run that by the Presidio yet because we're just getting rolling here and I don't know what to think.
This is my reaction, Salam. I'll go first.
Okay.
And then, please, what is your feedback here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the reason why I left it at that is to make sure that with the $1, we are able to get at least enough dewormers for case.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say we are able to get about 1,000 doses for case,
Mm-hmm.
and 1,000 doses for adults.
Right.
But I don't know specifically, just like you said, in Ghana, here's the same thing. There are different brands of medication sold at different prices, but may just be the same content, or treating and functioning the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's to be able to get this blend that would give us at least 2,000 doses in total for this particular event, is to maybe be at the wholesale store where I can have access to varieties and be able to negotiate for, let's say, is it a blend of brand A and brand E that will give me the same quantities at the budget I have? Or is a blend of brand C and brand F that will give me that? So, like you said, when it comes to adult medication for deworming, I personally have taken, it's been a long time I took some. So, but I know that there are dewormers that cost as low as 5 cities or 10 cities.
Yeah.
And there are dewormers that cost as much as 50 cities, even 100 cities.
Yeah.
But with case they are more expensive because mostly they are suspensions that are used, they are syrups that are used. So that is why with that line item, I've not been able to break it down, because I might say we are getting maybe a dewormer for adults at, let's say, 7 cents. And in order to be able to get enough for the case, maybe I will have to settle for a 5 cents dewormer for adults. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, I do. And I think that I completely understand it. And the problem is the problem goes back to exactly, in my opinion, what we said, is that I couldn't choose a dewormer. You can't choose a dewormer. Elaina can't. Ben can't. Warihana can't. Abbie might be able to, but everything is different there. And so it's like we're missing. And I'm not saying we should do it right now because I understand the timeline, but I'm saying it's clear we're missing a medical professional in Ghana who should say, don't buy this $3 one, buy this $1 one. Because none of us know that.
I agree, because like in the States,
Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah.
the difference between
But
like
then the medical professional will be able to tell us, maybe this $1 one serves the same purpose as this $10 one.
Yeah, or maybe it's even better. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the States, typically the difference between over the counter and generic and brand name is that the generics have more additives in them and not necessarily ones that you need or ones that you want. So that's why I tend to buy, if I have a choice for over the counter medication, I go for the brand name just because I don't know what those other additives are. And so with yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, right. So to Abbie's point, it might be beneficial to spend an extra $3, spend $3 and not $1 because the brand name is better. Like we're just missing, a clinical person right now, is the way that I see it. And I think that the closest thing that I can get to a clinician right now is Notebook LM, because it has the research that we've put into, all of the research that we've put into it. And that's why I say, let's feed this whole entire project through Notebook LM, see what it says, and then present it to, maybe, I don't know if Zwara is capable of making that decision as a nurse. She may be, I wouldn't know, or maybe we can find a doctor that Salam, or maybe even one that Warihana knows or Ben knows, that you could say, look, this is what we're going to do. What do you think? We want to buy this $3 medication instead of this $3 medication, or however. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
I agree. I do think we need, a medical perspective from Ghana, because like I've said, I can't I could do the US stuff, even like the scope of practice for nursing and everything like that, but to have somebody on the ground there more familiar with the villages and things of that nature, what's working and what's not working, I think we definitely need to have that.
Salam, even if you added a line item to your budget that says project review by clinician or project review by doctor, and you put 100 US on there, that would make a great sense to me, because they could easily save that in medications if they choose the $1 one over the $3 one. I don't know. So I think my question, I think that I want to ask to everyone is, and we'll start with Warihana. Warihana, should we put this through Notebook LM, try to come up with a report, and seek some clinical advice before we execute, or not? How do you feel about it, Warihana?
Yes, we could definitely consult Notebook LM, but I'm not sure if it will be able to give us responses specific to the Ghanaian context.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would recommend a drug or make a recommendation. Let's say it makes a recommendation of a particular medicine and we are actually not able to get it in Ghana.
Right.
So instead, why don't we actually speak to a medical specialist in Ghana?
Mm-hmm.
We could even speak to, let's say, a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are also very knowledgeable when it comes to drugs. In fact,
Sure.
they even do the prescription.
Yeah.
Or even Zuera. Zuera could, I'm not sure if she'll be able to, but maybe she could be the first person we'll talk to see if she can make some recommendations for us.
Uh-huh.
And then if she's not able, then we can speak to someone else and see.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and I think that to your point, Warhana, my point wasn't to get drug recommendations from Notebook LM. It was to check that was in alignment with all of the things. When we use the $1 challenge, that we're using our $1 most effectively based on all the other research. So it wasn't really to pick a drug; it was to say, okay, don't buy these test kits, buy this drug. Don't, or buy a drug that treats a dewormer, or don't buy this Cipro. Buy an alternative like more condoms. Just to,
Mm,
I was thinking of it more in a general standpoint of what areas we should focus on and have it try to answer those based on where we are and the budget we have, rather than having
mm,
it pick individual drugs. We definitely need to defer that to someone in Ghana. But I think that we could get this project 79 aligned with our Northern Health Shield. It could help us do that.
yeah. Yeah, then yeah, Notebook LM could actually help us when it comes to the alignment. So yes, we can
Yeah.
do that.
Okay. Great. And then go to Benny. How do you feel about this?
Yes, I agree with what we are discussing.
Mm-hmm.
Because since we are shifting towards proactive treatment, it's important we use this project to as an initiative of what we intend to do with the Northern Health Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And aligning with the practices and the paper is actually very important for
Mm-hmm.
us. Yeah, so with the drug too, I think we can speak to a pharmacist, just as Warhana has stated, to just give us recommendations of what's best. This is what we want to do, and we want to follow this practice of treating. Which one would be best for us to go with? And I'm sure they would. We could get something from them. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Good, good. Thank you for that, Ben. Luke, how do you feel about this? I mean, you are a medical professional, but you deal with different parts.
Hey, I always refer to mom when it comes to medication.
When it comes to medications, yeah. So tell me what you think, Luke.
I think it would be good to have someone in Ghana.
Actually pick the medications.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do you I think that it's important still, as Ben pointed out, that we align ourselves with the Northern Health Shield and the things we've laid out there, just to align the project. But then when it comes to picking medications, we need somebody on the ground to do that. Is that what you're saying, or do you
I
disagree?
yeah, I agree.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks for that, Luke. And Elaina,
Hmm.
how about you?
Yeah, I agree with Luke. I think it'd be best to have somebody in Ghana pick the medication. But I don't
Okay.
see anything wrong with Notebook L. I'm doing I forgot exactly what you said it was going to do, but I think
Yeah, it's
that
gonna
sounds like a
it
good idea too.
yeah, it's gonna basically align this project with the Northern Health Shield
Hmm.
initiative. So that, which is
I
what we're
think
going to
that's a good
execute
idea.
in the health hubs to make sure that like we're focused on the top things that we're trying to do. And then
Hmm.
hopefully, ideally, in my opinion, we would get some kind of a decision tree that says like, okay, you can't get the typhoid vaccine, so do alternative B. And if you can't do B, do C, etc. And then it'll kind of prioritize our initiatives, but we're not going to trust it to pick the actual medications. I won't, personally. And so you think that's a good idea, Elaina?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, great. And then Salam, where are you at before I ask the president?
Yeah, I think I agree to that.
Okay, I'm sorry if it makes your life harder because it's delaying things. I apologize for that. I think as Ben said, it's important that we start to move ourselves in alignment with the health shield because we need to. I mean, it's going to be the most, I mean, literally, this is, I want everybody to understand the gravitas of this is that, like, this is literally people's lives that we're talking about. And so we need to, and that's why I'm kind of pushing back saying, wow, is this in alignment with all the research that we've done in the Northern Health Shield? And why I want to put it back through Notebook LM is that if we're treating people in a way, I don't even care if it's, if it might not be Cipro, it may be something else that we buy. If we buy the wrong dewormer, it's really impacting people's lives. It may not be life or death today, but it could be the difference between someone getting a hepatitis B vaccine and someone having liver disease later in life or major issues. So it really is important. And $12,000 is a significant amount of money that we're laying out for this project. Personally, my goal is to make that as effective as possible. So I hope you can understand why I'm stating this, Salam, and I'm not just trying to postpone and make your life difficult. Great.
Okay, so that's the dewormer, and then the Cipro we're going to get.
Basically, we just take all the excellent work Salam has done, print it out as a PDF, send it to Notebook LM, and say, how does this align with the Northern Health Shield? What can I do differently to improve it? Done. And see what it comes back with. And then give that to Salam. Let Salam make the decision of a pharmacist. I don't know if it's beneficial to talk to a wholesaler. I don't know if a wholesaler would give you an honest opinion or just try to sell their product.
I like
the pharmacist or doctor who says, look, you should buy this 50-cent medication over this $3 one. Or you know what? Don't even waste your money on the 50-cent one. Buy the $3 one. So and then Salam can take the recommendations, get a brand name, revise the budget based on the recommendations from the alignment with the health shield and the pharmacist or the doctor, and then we can get the budget approved and send the funds.
Okay, so I'm going to take that action item for Salam, and I will take this budget, the project, and put it into Notebook LM and see what it kicks back and see what it says as far as the medications, and then I'll work with Salam to go on the budget.
Yeah, and we'll have that done maybe by today.
Oh yeah, sure.
By end of day today, Salam, you'll have a document that you can take to a medical professional and say, these are the areas I need to focus on. Deworming, which medication should I use? How much? And then you can message your wholesaler and say, I need 1,000 doses of this. How much does it cost per dose? And update the budget. So it shouldn't add too much.
Does that sound like a plan, Salam?
Yes.
Okay. And does that help you out some?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we got that situated.
So that's 79.
That's 79, yes.
Which other one do we need to look at, Salam?
It's 81 0081.
81. Okay. I haven't looked at this one at all.
Oh, there we go. Okay, 81.
So just a description of, I don't even know what it's doing.
This is the peace and unity.
The Durbar. Durban. How do you say it? I always mess it up.
Durbar?
Dunbar. How do you say it, guys?
Durbar.
Wait, Durbar
Yes.
or Durbar?
Durbar.
Like an E more than a U
for
us.
Durbar.
Okay. The peace and unity in Van and Durbar. Okay. That this is the feed.
So this one's easy, right? This one's no medical involvement. We just have to look at we're gonna feed 3,000 people, right?
Yeah, 3,000 people. We have big pots, cost of pots, and the stoves with lids, big stoves. Firewood for the cooking, the disposable takeaway plates. Yeah. Okay. We can. I mean, you and I can go over these budgets after the meeting. We don't need to.
Right. I
Right.
think these
Okay.
are, yeah. So Salam, I think this is exactly what we talked about. It's a little bit more. I'm not sure. Can you explain why? What changed since we talked on Friday?
Maybe some pre-setup.
Yeah, this is what we took out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a little bit more, but let me just look at it. Sorry.
I can't remember. Yeah. Oh,
No, so I think no, it's the same amount we agreed on. I think it was more than this, but we reduced the cost of the food from 35 cities to 30 cities, which was about from 3 point something USD to about 2.27.
Okay, great. Okay.
2.75. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.7.
Okay. Thank you, Ben, for commenting as well. So this all looks good. I mean, I don't see anything that we need to do here, Salam, other than for the president to review it one more time, sign it, and then I'll send funds today if this is right.
Okay.
Perfect. And then was there the last project was that we wanted to cover today? I think had to do with the mental health day.
Yes. So with the mental health, I have requested. So I forwarded the list that Haley shared on the WhatsApp page to. So I just edited portions of it with Ben, and we forwarded it to a wholesaler to get at prices. And she's been asking some questions. So for instance, the origami paper, she said there was some. They are in sizes. So we have whites and we have colors, and then we have smaller sizes and bigger sizes. So she wanted to be sure of that. And then Ben, what I think she asked of something else like that. Yeah, the
Um,
football jerseys, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The jerseys.
we were confused as to the jerseys, whether we are getting football jerseys here or we are getting some from the US.
Yeah. So
this is Kevin's response.
Huh?
That we're to
Okay.
bring stuff and not whatever we be pleasantly surprised what we bring. We can't do that anymore.
No, again,
we
no,
can't.
yeah. So okay, so really, so this is on two. This is a combination for Warihana. These jerseys are you're referring to these to give to the children who play in the football game.
Yes. And I think that's what they would wear to play the football game.
Okay. And then Warihana is getting the shirts for the volunteers. Those are we're not referring to those as jerseys. That's a completely separate budget that Warihana is working with on the office,
along with the business cards.
Along with the business cards, a purchase invoice for that. Correct, yes. Warihana? You might be muted. Maybe technical difficulty. Okay, so back to the jerseys. So yeah, the U.S. is not bringing jerseys. You should budget for that.
Yes.
Okay. I think Salam and I would take that again So I'm sure that's why he has not been able to put up the budget for that project yet, because he has been asking me of most of them since I'm in charge of that,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I always which I always sometimes say I have to find out so that would be sure before we put up the budget.
yeah. So
Yes.
Salam and Ben, you guys should take care of the jerseys for those playing in the football game. And I don't know
Ben,
what. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. I just wanted to tell Ben that I'm not sure that's all his questions because I've asked him a lot of questions. So
Yeah.
footballs,
Yeah.
so footballs as well, and then with the schools playing, do we intend to maybe give them? So we are buying some exercise books for the origami exercise. I saw that Haley listed notebook one,
Uh-huh.
which we call exercise books here.
Mm.
So I was asking Ben, are we just getting enough for just the participants of the program, or we want to donate some to the school, maybe the two participating schools after, so that I'll be able to build up the quantities right.
Right. And I believe
I,
that
I'm sorry,
is.
really quick.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask something? Luke, is Haley with you or not right now?
He can be.
Yeah, if she could listen in on this and comment, I think we can get a lot more done. Okay, sorry, Salam. I wanted to see if we could bring Haley in
No
because
problem.
she knows about the origami papers, and I don't know anything about this. So
The sizes, yes.
the
I
sizes
would
and
say like um, the lower part of the list, like the printer paper, notebook, pencils, erasers. I believe that is mostly for the school children because we're going to be taking the origami and folding those and having instructions for those. And so then we need paper for that, the special origami paper for that. And then we were going to put everything in bags so the children could have their bag of things and not you know have their own
sure,
little supply.
a distribution,
Yeah, like a paper bag.
a way to distribute it. One
Yeah,
bag for every child. So
right,
the
right.
Haley is Haley on now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Haley. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Could you, Ben and Salam, can you ask your questions again now that we know Haley's here about what you need to know to flush out the budget for the mental health, which we're calling Project 80, I think?
Yes.
Project 80. Could you ask those questions now, Ben and Salam, whatever you might have about the budget and the doings of the day?
Yes. So welcome, Haley.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
That is project 80.
Uh-huh.
Can I, yeah, that's project 80. And so with the origami paper, we want to know the sizes because the supplier said there are bigger and smaller sizes. So whether we are going in for the smaller sizes or the bigger sizes. And then they also come in different colors, and there are some that come in just plain white color, which whether we which colors we are setting for. And you said color JC slash tax. So we wanted to understand that one as well, whether that is for the players for the football games. And yeah, the notebooks, um, we assume that is, and Ben may correct me on this because he teaches children. So we assume that is notebook one, the exercise books. And so we want to find out, is this notebooks just for the kids who will be taking part in the origami exercise, or we intend to get a good quantity that we can donate to the school after we are done? Same for the pencils and the erasers and sharpeners. Yeah, and then footballs.
So for the origami paper, there's two different sizes. I think Maya said that the size of the origami was 8x8, and I think Maya's gonna bring those from the States, or we're gonna bring them from the States. She was gonna pick them out and pick the colors. And then as for the printer paper, that was more.
I'm sorry, just really quick, Haley, can I interrupt? So what we're saying is that Ben and Salam do not need to procure any origami paper. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. I believe that was Maya's gonna pick it out and we're gonna bring it from the States.
Okay, so we'll definitely leave that, and please confirm that with Maya in the chat or wherever you need to, that is literally a requirement that we're going to bring those.
Or I can confirm either way, Haley.
Okay. Yeah. And then the printer paper, half of it is for the paper airplanes, because the paper airplanes require a full 8x11 regular sheet of paper. And then Salam and Benny, I'll also need you guys to print out the instructions for origami. I sent a PDF to you guys. It's front and back. And then, but Maya also mentioned she wanted to add another one. So I'm waiting for Maya to do that. And then I can send you a PDF so you guys can print the instructions in Africa.
Just let me try to be clear here. There are going to be 3 sheets of paper per child, printed front and back, which have instructions on 3 different origami projects. Is that true, Haley?
Yeah, that's the idea for right now. I don't have the third project from Maya, so right now it'll just be 1 sheet of paper front and back, printed with instructions.
And you are not bringing that. Maya's not bringing that. Nothing.
We are not, but I will provide the PDF, which Salam or Benny can then print.
Okay. That helps you, Ben, understand what's going on there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then the other thing that you had questions on were the notebooks. What are these notebooks, Haley?
Those ones were part of the drawing portion. So I was thinking we could have a table with, a bunch of colored pencils and art supplies, and then the kids can use their notebooks for the drawings.
Okay, great. Yeah. Great. So is
So
this,
I guess more like a sketchbook.
Okay, so this is non-lined paper, right?
Ideally, but we can work with what we got.
Right. So Ben, how does that work out? And do you understand that? Can we get unlined notebooks? And we need 100 of those. Is that right?
Yeah, 1 per kid.
Okay, so I think I'll talk with the suppliers Salam has been in touch with to see if we can get those notebooks, because from our earlier understanding we were thinking of books with lines, just as Salam mentioned, that exercise books. So since it will be for the purpose of drawings, we would check to see if we can have books without lines that would best fit for drawing.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Great. And then we're talking about pencils and erasers, sharpeners, and the like. Now with those, when you say pencils, those are just regular pencils, or are those colored pencils, or is it a combination? What are you thinking there, Haley?
On the list, there's both pencils and colored pencils.
Okay.
The colored pencils we will probably bring from the States, and then Salam said that they can source regular pencils there.
Okay.
So I figured with the pencils, we can just, get as many as we can and divvy them up and then maybe donate the rest of them to the school. But just so each kid has an opportunity to have at least a couple pencils and a pack of colored pencils brought from the States.
Okay, so let me get this clear. You're going to bring the origami paper. Haley, you're going to be responsible for bringing the origami paper and all of its colors and whatever that might be. Maya is. Sorry, someone is. But I'm saying I don't know. Okay, well, Haley's on this call. So
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that, and then also the colored pencils. But the regular pencils, which you'd like everyone to have 3 of, should be, with the sharpener, etc., should be sourced by Ben. And does that include pens?
I don't have pens on the list,
Okay,
but
good.
I
Okay,
have
no,
them.
that's fine. Okay,
I think you're thinking of last time when we came.
Right.
We brought pens
Pencils
and
and pencils
pencils
and
and
all that.
erasers and sharpeners the last time we came.
Right. So you're thinking. So Ben should source 300 pencils and 100 sharpeners.
Yes.
Does that sound right, Ben, to you? And do you understand?
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yeah. So
As well as 100 notebooks with outlined paper, preferably. And then
uh,
you have here the printed instructions. We can execute that, Salam, with the printer at the office. Is that correct?
um
Or Ben, would you rather just give somebody that to print those PDF files?
yeah, yeah, I think would have to give it to someone to print,
Okay.
since we need, yes, the size of the paper, including front and back, and making it color. I think it would be appropriate we print it in color form, just as it appears on the PDF.
Yes.
Yes, so I think we can have someone print it here for us in that same format.
Okay, great. So you're going to handle that, and that's 100 copies of each. I'm going to call them origami project papers. So those origami
Okay.
project papers, there'll be one per child. So if you have 3 templates or 3 projects, there'll be 300 sheets that you'll need to have printed.
All right, sure, yes.
And
So at the
then,
moment, we have one instruction
uh-huh.
that
And
was shared on the group. So
right.
as more come, we would add that to
Okay,
print.
great. And Haley, you're planning on giving 2 more, is that correct?
I'm waiting on Maya to see if she has another project. I'm trying to make it as many or as few pieces of printed paper as possible. So that might mean multiple projects on one piece of paper, which would be better. But I'm hoping to keep it no more than 3 pages.
Okay. And Ben, really quick, I just have a logistical thing here. Ben, when we look at what we're printing and giving to the children, will it be not only feasible or plausible for them to save this and do it on their own in the future? Or is it something that they, do we have to worry about wording? How about literacy? Where are we with those logistics, Ben, from your opinion?
So I think the instructions comes with visuals to
Uh-huh.
teach you fold it this way, you do this next. So I think even if someone cannot read, by looking at the instructions, they can follow up with the guidance we would be given. And after that, if they have it on their own at home, I'm sure they can also teach someone with
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah.
Perfect. And then now we're moving to the jerseys, which you're gonna. How many of those are we gonna need, Ben and Salam, for those who
So
play in the football game?
we're looking at 2 sets, and each set, that means each set for a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Salam. I don't know if that's right. So that since we are playing against 2 teams, with this team has a JC, another team has a JC, and
Uh-huh.
each set usually come with about 15 pieces,
Okay.
because 12 people, in addition to the we can call them reserved players,
Uh-huh.
they all have, yes. So it
Perfect.
just comes in a set. Yeah.
Okay. And
So
then
two sets.
and we'll be watching just one game, one match with 2 teams. Is that correct?
So
Or will there be
from,
multiple games? I can't remember.
yes, from the activity or the itinerary,
Uh-huh.
we're talking about 2 different age groups.
Okay.
So if that would happen, that means we would be observing 2 different games
Uh-huh.
altogether.
Great.
Or possibly we could make it when females play, then males to play, depending on how we want it to be.
Okay. So what we're
Yes.
gonna need are we're gonna need 4 sets of jerseys.
Yes.
4 sets of jerseys. Those will be budgeted and procured by the Ghana team, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then Haley or Ben, can somebody fill me on what tags mean?
I just use the word tag because sometimes they're like little scarves that you can put on like pants. You can click them on pants. I said tags because it would be easier to bring those from the States instead of, 40 jerseys or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But if it's sourced in Ghana, then we can just take out the tags. That was just an alternative.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay, great. So we're gonna go with the jersey. So tags are the word tags is irrelevant. And then footballs, we want to make sure that we leave a few with the schools here because this is an important part of mental health is outdoor physical activity. So we need at least we want to give I think at least one ball to each team and then one ball to each school. So maybe 6 balls.
Yeah, I think 6 balls would do.
Do you think
Six.
that's a good number?
Yes,
Okay. And
yes,
then
6 balls would do.
and also pumps, please,
Okay, yes. Eh,
with the
Some of the
needles.
balls, I don't know if they don't come with pumps, we would have to buy them
Yeah. Budget
separately. Yeah,
yeah, budget for pumps with needles with each ball because there's nothing worse than a flat ball.
yeah, yeah.
and then and then we have and then we have the paper bags which Ben is going to procure that. That's and budget for that. That seems pretty logical. Whatever you think the notebook and the pencils and the eraser and all of that can fit in, right? Right, Ben?
Yeah, so the paper bag, I think Salam and I were discussing
Uh-huh.
about it. Um, Haley, please, how are we looking at the paper bags to be? Is it just a simple bag where the kids can put all their pencils and books and everything inside?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that each kid would be able to have their own set. So whether it's a bag or a small box, even I'm not really sure what the easiest would be.
Okay.
But I think just like a smaller bag that's able to hold everything would be ideal.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
got that.
I kind of like that idea too. Kind of like something that's durable as well that they can keep their supplies in. Is that what you're thinking, Haley?
Yeah, I thought about smaller tote bags,
Uh-huh.
that are canvas, but those are a little bit, more expensive.
Yeah.
Um, I know paper bags would kind of be a little more disposable and they wouldn't be reusable, which wouldn't be a great option.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on, how we can get them and what the budget is.
Yeah.
What if
Ben can oh go ahead.
what if we get paper bags and then have a stamp made like with the Give Basic Needs hand and then stamp that on the bag. That way it's not just a plain paper bag or a plain bag. We can kind of jazz it up a little bit, maybe.
Let them decorate it. Make it part of the art project, maybe.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Ben, what do you think?
Yes. So with the paper bag too, just as Haley pointed out, we have different types of bags here that could be used to keep supplies. The paper bag would be easy to deteriorate or yes, but we have some other bags that even after the project, so it depends on the budget. Even after the project, the kids could put their books there to school
Yeah, that's what
or
I'm
still,
thinking.
yes,
Yeah.
still make use of it. So we could look at that as another option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Salam, you have a question?
Good idea.
Yes. Okay. So pardon me if my voice is not up to speed
No.
today. I have a bit headache.
Uh,
So I wanted to suggest that with the footballs that um, will be given to the schools,
mhm.
if we are giving them a football each, is it okay to add a set of jersey to the footballs? So the two footballs that we are giving, we could add a jersey each for each school. And then with the bags, I think that we can get normal. We can get some cheap, not cheap as in the sense of them getting destroyed easily, but we can get some good bags, just normal good school bags
Mm-hmm.
at maybe the China malls,
Mm-hmm.
because the Chinese really brought in some cheaper materials,
Uh-huh.
maybe for $10 per bag that a kid could use for even over a year,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even less than $10 per bag.
Yeah, so
And yes,
let's go to your first question. So with the so is, if I understand you saying right is you want each team let's get to the footballs.
Yeah.
All the footballs will go to ultimately to the schools as opposed to an individual, yeah?
yes. Or Ben, I think that's we should go to the school.
Yes. So we started to look at the teams that will be involved.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So if the games, we would have the schools involved. I think at the end, those jerseys that will be given to the team could be the school jerseys. Could it work that way? If we have
Uh-huh.
two teams who would be playing, because we would provide a set of jerseys for them. After playing, it could be a school jersey, the school team's jersey, so that they can use in their future matches against other teams.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, we're kind of playing with the ball that we're going to give and the jerseys that we're going to give to the schools. Is that the way you see it? So maybe still give three balls so they can have them at the school and one set of jerseys. I'm sorry. Let me back up. So it would be three balls per school. So that would be six balls and pumps and needles. And then it would
Yes.
and then it would be uh uh four four sets of jerseys. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, four sets of jerseys.
And those would go to both schools, two each.
Yes. Yes.
And
I don't know if Salam has any other, because when it will not look proper after that. We just allow it for only those who play. In that case, the JC doesn't become more useful as we intend, because it would be the same color
right,
intended to always be used together as a team.
yeah,
Yes. So after that, those JCs that the teams would be using could be given to the schools so that they can make use of it later.
yeah. I think that's good, and I think that solves the solution for the footballs and the jerseys, right, Salam? But we need to get back to the bags. Yes.
Yeah, so my question was that if per the itinerary we have children between age 12 to 15 playing,
Mm-hmm.
and then um, from 15 to 18 playing,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ben just introduced that we could have females play as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming we are having two teams or two games to watch.
Yes.
So if we pick school A versus school B
Mm-hmm.
to play a game, and we give um, s- a set of JC, which is 15 pieces, as Ben said, to school A, and 15 pieces to school B. And then after the game, we say, school A, you can walk away with the 15 pieces we've given you for the game. School B, you can walk away with the 15 pieces we gave you. Then when they get to the school and then the school team is having to play a football internally, then they wouldn't have enough jerseys for a team to play. I don't know if I'm making sense,
Uh-huh. I'm trying,
because
but so
a
but
team is
Ben, what do
about
you?
22 players or so.
Yes, I understand clearly what Salam is saying.
Uh-huh.
So if we would want to, it also depends on the number of schools we'll be using around that, um the community will be doing the games at, because at the end we would be having four sets of jerseys to give out,
Mm-hmm.
two given to each team that would be played. So it's possible that at the end we might have two schools playing against each other, but just divided into different age groups or different sex groups.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the case, we would still have two JSs per a team at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think rather than breaking this is my only comment. I don't care about the jerseys. I think you guys can figure that out. Whatever you guys think and put in the budget, agree to Ben and Salam. That's fine with me personally. But I would like to see the be mixed gender games, boys and girls playing at different age groups. So two different age groups, but mixed gender.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Or
Does that cause a problem or no?
No, I don't think that would cause a problem because kids
Okay.
play here like that. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Um.
better than separating them, better we just put them all together because it makes like-minded people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we'd look at that. If the budget can take care of that, we can go with what Salam is saying.
Uh-huh.
But it depends. So maybe we would sort that one out
Okay.
as the Ghana team here.
Yeah, you can sort that out and then put it in the description of the budget, and then if we have questions, the president will review it with you or whatever. But does that okay with you, Salam?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the one thing you wanted to talk about were the bags. And I think it's a good idea, but is there a way that we can employ some women to sew bags for us locally and instead of buying them in China and get the same price?
I'll leave that to Warihana.
Uh-huh.
She's a tailor herself, so
Uh-huh. Good. Warihana, we need to hear from you.
Yes, we can definitely do that.
Okay.
And the kind of bags I would suggest is, I'll just try to describe it. So it usually comes with a string on both sides,
Uh-huh.
and then you pull it, and then the top closes. Salam, do you
Yes.
know those bags? It's like Kevin also knows those bags, right?
yeah.
I know those. I know
We call
those.
them a cinch sack here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
could either do those or those ones that you just hold. So there's one handle on one side, one handle on the other side, and then you just hold it like a handbag.
Uh-huh. I like
Made
the
with
one. I like the one with the string. Can we make those for maybe $6 or $8 each? 100 of them.
I would have to find out.
Oh, okay.
I
So
would have to check the pictures and see.
if you could find out and then get that to Salam so he can work it into the budget. But I like that idea, Salam, of
So priority one would be to have handmade bags. If we can't financially do that, then we'll do some type of
paper bag or
something
whatever.
like that.
Yeah.
How many of those bags would we be making?
I think 100, correct, Ben? Yeah, 100.
Okay.
And yeah, if we can make them however the children would like them most, we could make them from simple linens and then allow them to still decorate the children to decorate them as well if we wanted to.
Hold on now, because now you're talking about decorating fabric, and that's a whole other ballgame. You can't really pencil fabric.
Yeah, fair.
Am I correct, Warihana?
Yeah, correct, Abbie.
Yeah.
It's like fabric paints and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right. Okay, so they're not decorating them. They're just making they're just getting a bag for their supplies, as Salam pointed out,
Right.
that they can use beyond this project for the year. Does that sound good to you, Haley?
Yeah, I like that a lot better than just disposable bags because then they can reuse them.
Yeah, great. I think that's good. So Warihana, if you could get a price on those and get that to Salam to integrate into the budget, that would be great.
Oh, okay.
Great. And then let's see, what are the other things that we have? The pencils are coming from the US. The origami paper is coming from the US. The PDFs we're sending, and then rolls of tape. So, Ben, are you going to source those? And Haley, what kind of tape, maybe?
Maya suggested tape in case the origami ripped, so they can fix it. because that is a common problem. So I'm not sure, just like a regular clear Scotch tape is what I'm assuming, but I'm not sure how many. I was assuming of just like putting them on the table or giving them to Maya to help kids fix them.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if, you know, each kid would get their own roll of tape. That seems a bit excessive, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
No, that's excessive. So is what? Yeah, it would end up at the instructors or at the school at the end. But I think 10 rolls of the Scotch tape would be beneficial. Do you know what we mean when we say that clear tape for the origami bend?
Yes, I think we have tape here. Sometimes could be used to bind papers.
Okay.
That's the type of tape we can get that here.
Yeah, okay, so that'll be in your budget as well. And I think 10 rolls is probably good because any extra supplies we'll either divvy up amongst the children or give to the school.
All right.
And I think that goes over the whole list. Haley, do you have anything to add before we go to Ben and Salam and Warihana to see if they have questions?
Yeah, the footballs and the pumps and all that, are those coming from Africa or are we bringing those?
No, I think Ben's going to supply those unless we want to.
Okay. I'm just trying to make a list. I'm going to make a list and then resend it out
Yeah,
because there are some changes on it.
beautiful. Thank you for doing that. Do you want to I don't know, maybe the Thierry family will want to bring footballs, but any additional footballs they bring, we will give to schools, whether it's these two schools or other schools, we will give them out. They will all be consumed. So it's not a worry if they want to bring additional. Does that make sense, Haley?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I just want to make sure that we have like the basic everything all written down and then anything extra,
Yeah.
you know, we can just divvy that up.
Yeah, exactly. And do you agree, Ben, you're going to supply the balls and with the jerseys all together, kind of with the pumps and the needles that the schools need, and anything extra will go to another school and give it away or something different?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. So does that answer your question, Haley? You're all good?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Okay, great. And then, so you're good, Haley. You got your questions answered. Ben, do you have any questions for Haley or the group regarding the Mental Health Day project?
No, just the last one. That means from what I was writing down here, we'd be having the origami papers and the color pencils only coming from the US. Haley, is there any other thing that you are sure of at the moment that would be coming from the US, or just these two?
Just these two, and then anything will be everything else, which I'm sure there'll be things will then just be extra, and we'll maybe divvy them out or give them to the school or do another project or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay, and that's. Thank you, Haley.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Maybe I should make a WhatsApp.
Wait.
Sorry.
Haley was gonna just
Oh.
you stepped out. Haley's gonna get it all down in WhatsApp, a final list.
I was thinking of making a separate group for this because it's kind of getting lost in the going discussion.
Sure.
So we need like another group, maybe just
Yeah,
for the
that's
art
fine.
day.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
And
would
then-
be really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's
Got it.
do that, and then just make sure you include Benny.
Got it.
And then, so Ben, you don't have anything else. Warhana, do you have any questions about the bags or the event day?
No, everything is clear. Thank you.
Okay, great. And then Salam, how are you? Are you hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Okay, great. Elaina, any questions?
Nope, I'm all good.
All right, we're gonna miss you, Elaina.
Yes, for sure.
I'll miss you guys too.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, so I think we're all good on that. I don't have anything else for this meeting.
I do not either. How about you, Luke or Haley? Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Ben?
No.
Okay. Elaina?
Nothing for me.
Okie dokie. Warahana?
No, that's all from me.
Okay. Do you want to give us a quick grant update, maybe 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
So on Thursday, I submitted an application for the Morgan Stanley opportunity. So that
Yay.
one, yeah,
Great, great,
we are
great.
looking at getting about 250,000 USD
Okay.
grant.
Great.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
yeah, I'm almost through with the the Draper Richards Kaplan Foundation grant opportunity.
Okay, great.
So that one is an award of up to 300,000 USD paid over
Beautiful.
3 years. So
Beautiful.
typically 100,000 per year.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So once I'm done with that, I would move on to work on the price,
Mm-hmm.
the price. Yeah. I have a lot of grants that I have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
apply.
yeah. You're getting very busy. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Um, I've also started working on the foundation website. I'm just
Oh,
doing it as and when I'm able, but
yeah.
then the goal is to get it done before you are in Ghana.
Okay.
In fact, even sooner than that.
Okay. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for that, and that's much appreciative. And as I was telling the president that it's really going to be nice that we can tag the travel website that you created that's so nice in
Mhm.
our posts when we make them to encourage others to travel with us next year.
Yes, yes. And I also want to, so once I'm done with the foundation website, I want to move on to create the one for Hub 1. And once it's okay, we'll just create a clone of it for
Yeah.
Hub 2.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I think that that's really good because that will give that will encourage our entrepreneurs to get excited about their new business venture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the subdomain would be hub1.givebasicneeds.org. Eh?
Yeah.
So is it hub the number one or the word one?
Yeah, what do you I mean I like short, but maybe that's not descriptive enough. I'm gonna leave it to you, Warihana. What do you want me to create the alias for?
I think hub and the number one is easier.
Okay. Yeah, Ben
Yeah,
agrees. Great. Okay, yeah, I will create Hub One. I haven't done that yet, have I? I can't remember.
not yet.
Okay, so if you want to tell me in the systems area in Discord, I will build that and point it to the server so that it can find it, and we'll test that out. We'll do Hub One, no dash, just all run together.
Okay. And just technical issues that I'm having. Maybe Kevin and I can discuss it after the call.
Yeah.
When I tried logging into Smiley, I was sent a link, and then when I clicked on the link, it took me to a place with a QR code where I would have to scan it in my authenticator
Uh-huh.
app. I paused there because I'm not sure if we are syncing the two-factor in Happy Vault.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually good. So this is good. So and this is just an informational thing. Ben and I struggled with this the other day where I was setting up two-factor authentication for him using the QR code. We had an issue where we had broken links. It was
Mm,
redirecting to port 8000, which the proxy
okay.
server didn't know what to do with, and it was coming back with an error. And so you weren't able to easily do it. I was having to manually go in. Well, I made some changes yesterday.
Oh, okay.
As you saw, the servers up and down quite a bit. I apologize for any inconvenience, but those changes mean that you should now be getting the QR code as you do when you click on the email link. So is that
Yes.
true, Warahana, that you got an email to set up the two-factor, and then when you did, it actually took you to a QR code?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. So that bug has been fixed with the port number, so that's great news. And is what you can do is you can just go into your Happy Vault and choose your login
Mhm.
for your Smiley, and then add that as a two-factor authentication and scan the QR code there, and then it will just work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I can help you with that after this call as well if you have questions. I needed to help Ben with that, but he and I worked through it. I think we're all set on the technical side. But I need to do that for Elaina and Luke and Daniel as well still. So I think if you want to use your phone and open the vault, select the Smiley login, and then add that QR code to your login there for Smiley dash Warihana, then that should be good. Do you have questions on that, or do you want to talk about it?
If you have some time after the call, or maybe tomorrow, we can set it up together.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I can do it after the call for sure.
Okay. All right, then I'll stay on.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, great.
That's
then, okay, great. Then Salam.
Salam, you have anything?
No.
Okay. Rest your voice and take some water and hope you feel better with your headache.
For sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Great meeting. And we will see you all next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Great meeting. Talk to you soon. See you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.